let's talk baseball playoffs because we're well into those, and the divisional series are set now. Joining us, and I'm told he's on camera, from MLB Network, Brian Kenny. It's great to see you, sir. How are you?
Good, Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for doing this here. I know you're busy, and I know you got better things to do, but we appreciate it. Good or bad, and I don't know that there is a right or wrong answer here, but good or bad that everything to open up was a sweep?
I think neither. Probably if you're looking to get on with it, like in this new system, you don't want to again, you have your top two seeds in the system. I don't know how much you're following it, but the system, they added 2 teams to the playoffs last year, and you have your 2 top seeds. And like last year, it looked like the top seeds, after sitting around for a week, looked like they were a little on their heels at the start. And in the National League, the 5 and 6 seeds advanced to the championship series. In the American League, it was the Astros and Yankees, and they were the 1 and 2 seeds. You want the regular season to mean something. You want to reward your top seeds. So I don't know. Maybe this, if I'm instant synopsis, I think this is good in that you get this round over quickly. Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose. Let's move on to the division series. The better teams and the top 2 seeds who've got to buy in the first round.
And last year you had the Phillies, the 6th seed, obviously make it to the series and represent the National League before losing to the Astros here. Do we think maybe, Brian, the D-backs could be that team? Do you see that at all this year?
I mean, it's possible. I don't think they quite have the firepower. Now, that doesn't have to mean anything. These things aren't completely random, but certainly any team could just get on a good run. I think they lack the firepower of Braves, Dodgers, and Phillies. I think Phillies are there too. I think the Diamondbacks are solid. They're a very good defensive team. They run very well. They've got a top 2 starting pitching, a top of the rotation thing with Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen. They're not quite at the upper echelon of the Braves, Dodgers, and now you'd have to include Phillies in there.
How do you see Braves, Phillies?
Look, the Braves are a monstrous unit. The Braves offense is one of the best in the history of the sport, and their pitching, if healthy, is quite good. Braves should win. That doesn't mean they do. It's just like last year. The Braves were quite good. Remember, they marched down the Mets the final weekend of the regular season. They won 101 games last year, and they got dropped in their first round. So you can lose, but this is an all-time offense with power, with speed, with multi-dimensional players. So, again, I'd be slightly surprised, as much as you can be surprised in baseball, if the Braves don't get through.
Braves, as we dig down to the numbers, 8-5 this year against the Phillies. I think there are some, I don't think they're right, obviously, that see it as like the Braves and everyone else. What would you say to those people?
What, that the Braves are that much better?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're a level above, man. That's true. That's true. The Dodgers took a step back this year. The Dodgers if they wanted to keep their foot on the accelerator, could be there with the Braves. They could have went spending. They could have gotten after it. But it was in their best interest to kind of retrench just a little bit, get healthier over the next 3 years, reset their spending, do all that, let their rookies play. They took a step back. The Phillies are still kind of a flawed team. They're very good in the postseason. They're very tough. They're mentally tough. Bryce Harper's a money player. But the Braves are at another level. Again, the Mets and the Padres were supposed to be there with them. They both went down terribly. So the Braves are in a class by themselves.
Talking to Brian Kenny from MLB Network. I said hotel room earlier. Clearly, Brian, that's not a hotel room. I apologize.
You said it's my office, man.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Ruth and Garrick up there.
You know what? I am so I didn't see that at first, obviously. I'm so used to looking at the camera. Then you got to look down. But like we're so used to getting people on from hotel rooms these days in this day and age where everyone can just open their phone or open their laptop. We thank you for that.
And tell Rich that's an Emmy plaque that we both got for Sports Center the same year. So tell Rich, what year is that? That's like 2004. So Rich and I probably both won that.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Right, 2004 Emmy. Can we make sure to clip this for Rich when he comes on? Rich is in London, obviously, as you know. So hold on. You want to take that off the wall here? You want to hold it up? No.
There's a 2003 and a 2004. How about that? There we go. So tell Rich, have some pride in the old joint.
Oh, look at that.
2003 and 2004. How about that?
Now, hold on. Brian, was this one of the Emmys where, like, you had to write a check for them to give you the actual plaque?
I don't remember. I'm not sure I want to go there.
I hope not, because like sometimes with these awards, it's
maybe
like
Rich remembers that. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what? You know what? Something else. Like ask Rich. Like years later now, because I've won. You know, we've won a few Emmys here at MLB Network for MLB Tonight, and so like even my wife said, she goes, "You have these plaques. Why don't you get the statue?" I called them and said, "Can I get a statue for those Sports Center Emmys that I won?" And they said, "No, you're an anchor. You can't. You have to be technical." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I said, "You know, when you're a Sports Center anchor, you write the show. I'm the writer. I'm the host. And they go, "No, you've really got only to certain people." So if Rich has an Emmy, I'd like to know about it.
Okay, so this is Brian. This is like an entire different level of behind the scenes talk here, because for those who don't know, this is real what Brian's talking about. Like you can walk into people's offices and you're like, "Oh my God, look, there's 6 Emmys there. Like, what are those for?" And you're like, "Oh, well, that's when I was a BA." You know, in 98, like you got an Emmy for that? It's like, oh, well, we all got an Emmy. It's like, wait a minute, but you're like the 38th. Not that you didn't serve a valuable purpose on the show and part of its success, but like you're like the 38th person on the list, and you have a statue there. And then I remember the one time I was up for an Emmy. By the way, I lost to MLB Tonight. The one time for Total Access, I was up for an Emmy. I remember I walked into someone's office and said, "Hey, can I go to New York for this?" And my co-host, Lindsay Rhodes, "Can we go to New York for this?" Like, "Oh no, you guys got to do the show." And I said, "But are you going?" "Oh yeah, I'm going." Like, but wait a minute, we can't go. No, you guys got to do the show. Like, but you're going.
What you hear is it's really not for you. It's like you
it's
just
not
wrote
for
it
you.
And anchored it.
Yeah. And so I put my foot down.
I've got like 6 at the house. I've got all the statues. I just look back at these and I go, I don't know. Maybe I couldn't afford it. I didn't know, but somebody told me, "No, you're not worth it." I said, "So if I did audio, I'd be able to get it." Yes,
exactly.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Jason, we love you over there. Jason, we love you in audio. This is a very, as I said, inside baseball, literally kind of thing. But I eventually convinced them to let me go. I went. We didn't win. Fine. We lost to MLB Tonight. Harold was amazingly gracious. Love him. You guys deserve to win. But whatever. That was my Emmy story. Moving on. I don't like to talk about attendance. I don't like to beat up fans. I just think that's low-hanging fruit when it comes to sports talk radio. That said, isn't it a problem, Brian, when you have a new ballpark announced here coming up for the Rays, and it looked like a Tuesday in June at these playoff games here for the Rays?
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, I was surprised to see it. That's about their average attendance. How do you not do better than that? I don't have some perfect answer. I like the Trop, by the way. I've been to the Trop a lot. They've had me down there because they do the bullpenning thing. They do the opener. And so I've been down there as part of their promotions and that sort of thing. I don't get it. I guess afternoons, but you knew they were going to make the playoffs. Maybe they wanted a division title. I hope with the new ballpark, when it's eventually built, they get more excitement there. But look, that's a disappointment. And that's and you look around at the different parks. Look at Philadelphia last night. The place is throbbing.
Amazing.
Still. So, and most parks are like that. I've never, Andrew, heard louder crowds in my lifetime, going back to Yankee Stadium and Shea Stadium in the 70s. I've never heard louder crowds than at Philadelphia and Houston last year. So there is an immense amount of excitement in most every city, and it's disappointing that happened. Yeah, afternoon games, but I'm with you. Like, it doesn't explain everything. Mm-hmm. There's some malaise there regarding their team that had a pretty exciting season. They were the best team in baseball for the first month. They won 99 games. Disappointing.
Yeah, and to your point, go search Twitter here for the audio only in Philly last night on the Grand Slam. It'll send chills down your spine. It's amazing, and there's truly nothing better than playoff baseball in the building. It sends chills down your spine. It is that good. I'm a Guardians fan, formerly Indians fan, and whether it was in 16, there shouldn't have been a rain delay, but that's another story and another show. But being in the building,
it was pouring. It
was an 8-minute rain delay.
I was there too.
Without the rain delay, they win the game.
You could not play in those conditions.
8 minutes.
I'm taking your Emmy back.
Okay. Okay. Before I let you go, on those Guardians, any insight on Tito's replacement? Venable, what do you know?
I don't have inside information on that. I know this. They kind of got a pass this year. Mm-hmm. You know, the Mets, Padres, and Cardinals, and you want to throw in the White Sox, were so disastrous that it kind of clouds over how disappointing it was for Cleveland. They were the youngest team in the postseason last year. They had all that contact hitting, all that fielding, the speed, all of that. The new rules come in. They were supposed to be the team best equipped to take advantage of it. So that is disappointing. And there's going to be a hot market out there. Like, I don't know if the Mets are absolutely centered on just Craig Counsell, but there's going to be a hot market out there for managers this year. There's going to be some replacements, and a couple of guys are very much on the hot seat this coming year.
Bieber McKenzie got hurt. Jimenez didn't match last year's numbers. And let's face it, the Josh Bell and especially Mike Zunino signings were utterly disastrous. They tried to add a couple of bats. Neither of those bats did anything. Well, Josh Bell did something, but not nearly enough. Mike Zunino was, this is statistically the worst catcher in baseball, and then everyone got hurt and nobody hit. Yeah, it was
Other than that, everything was fine.
Other than that, it was great. And other than that, they were still somehow in it in August because the Twins couldn't run away, and then there's a whole waiver wire thing with the Angels and whatever. We don't have enough time, and the Guardians don't move the needle. However, MLB Network does. MLB Network has live pre- and post-game coverage for every postseason game throughout the World Series. You can check out Brian, obviously, on MLB Now, which airs today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Brian Kenny, we appreciate the time, and we will send your best Emmy wishes to Rich.
Excellent. 2003, 2004. See if he remembers. All right.
Put him back on the wall. Thank you, Brian. Brian Kenny, everybody.
Thank you, man.
You got it. The Emmy, the behind-the-scenes Emmy thing, this is truly inside baseball here. It is something.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.